Alright. Alright. Hello, YouTube. Popsicles here. You guys ready?
Yes.
Yep.
Alright. So we're going to do the 1, 2, 3 record thing. What was that?
Turning off the TV.
Huh? You and your fancy TiVo. Wooka booka. Wooka. It's a TiVo sound. Alright. 1, 2, 3, record.
Recording.
Derek, you recording?
Yes.
Alright. Let me see if I remember how to do this.
Hold on, I need a song. I forgot. See,
Oh.
what's on the... What's the haps these days?
We gotta record a promo. Andrew keeps bugging me.
Well, I wanted to. I'm like, let's make
do
this
it right
nice.
now.
You're like, you do it.
No, you didn't. You said we were gonna do one bad, so you wanted. I don't know. You were the one that was like, "Let's do it right now." We're recording.
Okay, hold on.
What should we do? You can lead it. You can lead the pack, Derek.
I think Benson should. Like,
Why do you think
because I want his point of view of it all. Because he's the most quiet one on the podcast. I want to hear what he thinks.
Okay, I
of
think
everything.
that's a good idea actually. So Benson, whenever you're ready. Derek, are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're still recording. So
All right,
Benson,
do it. Recording the ad.
yeah.
Hello, Benview fans. If you're listening to the show that has this ad, you like the network. So I'm here to say maybe consider checking out Popsicles, a show where a guy mainly doesn't say anything for a while and then people get mad at him because he hasn't seen the same things they've seen.
Benson's just being hard on himself.
That's what the show seems like to me.
All right. Well, you can listen to Popsicles. It's got Derek and me, Brendan Creecy, and Benson. He's a big part of the show. Don't let him undersell it. You can listen to it on the Benview Network website, benviewnetwork.com, or go to popsiclespodcast.com, or wherever you find podcasts.
If you like Radio Brendo Man, or the late but great Picture Start, or Benson's Boombox, then this show's got all three of those elements.
Totally.
Benson's boombox is late, or is mine late?
Yours is late, there.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it was great. I loved it while it was here, but it's been a while. When was the last Picture Start? This is part of the ad. Is me asking you when Picture Start is coming out.
It's been a while. Listen to me get browbeaten by these two for 90 minutes every few months.
All right. Well, thank you, and listen to Popsicles.
I mean, this is the most honest ad because I think it actually accurately captures the flavor of the show.
Totally.
Just put like the popcorn song behind it or something. Something upbeat.
Popcorn song. Okay.
Just loop that.
I'll do that. We'll see how it goes.
Alright. That's good enough.
That's good. We'll do something with that. All right. You guys ready? Let's get
Yep.
this show on the road.
Let's do it.
Live from the internet, it's Popsicles.
Number
89. Best year ever.
89. The year that changed us all.
Totally did.
Benson wasn't even around, probably.
I was not.
Benson wasn't born. Derek cried during Batman. I loved Batman. And I had all the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids McDonald's cups because they were awesome.
Nice.
And Ghostbusters 2 Hardee's cups, which was the benefit of being in New Mexico that summer because we didn't have Hardee's out here. For some fucking reason, Carl's Jr. didn't get Ghostbusters 2 stuff. Only Hardee's. Maybe they weren't merged yet. I don't know.
I was reading about the Honey I Shrunk the Kids TV show recently. They tried a lot of things. They're like, you know what, shrink. I think this was the tagline that shrinking was only the beginning. And Peter Scolari, Wayne Zelinsky like built time machines,
I don't
and
know if I ever watched the show. I think
there's
maybe
a
I
lot
watched
of
a couple episodes.
there's a lot of time travel in it.
I
And
remember.
there were some aliens because John Michael Higgins played this alien that recurred a few times. And there was a whole Back to the Future 3 episode where they go to the West with the alien, and
Was
Wayne
anybody
Zelinsky,
from the movie in the show?
no, Wayne Zelinsky uh, says his name is John Wayne because he's like, oh, in Back to the Future 3, his name was Clint Eastwood, so I'm going
That's
to do
pretty
that.
clever.
Hillary Tuck was in it. Had a crush on her.
I remember Honey, I Blew Up the Kid was the big screen feature for Carrie Russell, who they were pushing hard. Disney like wanted to make her like the next thing.
What makes you say that?
Well, she was on Mickey Mouse Club, and they kind of singled her out as like the big star from that, so they gave her the starring role. And Honey, I Blew Up the Kid, and they really put a
That's
lot
not
of.
the starring role. I mean, she was in it.
She was one of the main female characters. She was a big part of the movie.
I'd say the bunny was in it more than Carrie Russell was.
She was in the whole movie. It was her and the kid, the younger brother, because the older brother didn't come back and the sister didn't come back either.
Well, there was on the Zelensky side. There's only two kids,
Oh yeah, that's right.
and then in the show they deleted the Adam character completely. There was no little baby.
So he just died.
He was just
Of
written out of
gigantism.
John Landis was the executive producer on that whole show.
Wow.
That was during his Stupids era. I can't even fathom why John Landis would make that movie.
Well, wasn't
Knowing
that
what I
during
know
the
now.
period where he was like, they were still doing the Twilight Zone trials? Wasn't that taking
No, that
up
was
a lot of his?
years. That was years
Yeah,
later.
but that was like that case lasted years. Like,
But even after that, he did Coming to America and a bunch of stuff.
yeah,
After
but
that.
I think that there was a period where it didn't go to court, and then it did go to court, and then it was like a whole thing. I don't know
Jennifer Jason Leigh will never be in a Steven Spielberg movie because of that.
I mean, hey, that's her dad,
She was
and that was kind of fucked up,
The
and
daughter of yeah. That's crazy. Anyway,
Kind of a
we haven't
crazy thing.
forgotten our old staples, so I'm gonna.
all right.
It's
Been a long time.
Brendo, man.
It's been like 2
Yeah,
months.
it's been a very fresh top 5. I'm gonna spare you the Bieber, Benson, because he's all over that shit. All right, send in Brendo some lyrics.
You texting
Go
me?
for it.
All right.
Texting you. There it is. And because Benson's been pretty busy lately. There's been a lot of changes in his life, new
Wait,
jobs.
this is
new
just
living
now a top 5? This song's been out for like a while.
Well, it's in the top 5.
All right.
And so who knows what Benson's been exposed to. And also the last couple times we did it, he's been able to guess it. So we've been watching him grow.
I'm giving Benson 50-50 odds on this.
Well,
Oh, nice.
we're not asking your opinion. It's just
Hey,
asking your sing it.
I've been in a betting mood. I've been watching 11/22/63 and reading the book, and there's like a lot of betting going on. I'm like, maybe I could be a sports gambler. I don't know.
Well, I don't think that's
Probably
the path you should be taking at this point. But go ahead and sing.
I wish I found some better sounds no one's ever heard. I wish I had a better voice that sang some better words. I wish I found some chords in an order that is new. I wish I didn't have to rhyme every time I sang. I was told when I get older all my fears would shrink, but now I'm insecure and I care what people think. My name's Blurry Face and I care what you think. My name's Blurry Face and I care what you think. Wish we could turn back time to the good old days when our mama sang us to sleep, but now we're stressed out. Wish we could turn back time to the good old days when our mama sang us to sleep, but now we're stressed out. We're stressed
Okay.
out.
Okay.
And then there's the
That's-
part where it's like, wake up, you
That's
gotta
an-
make money.
All right, Benson.
That song is called I Wish by
Ah,
by
would have lost
Peter
all memory.
Peter Smelson.
Peter Smelson?
I have no idea what that song is. I've never heard it in my life.
It's Stressed Out by 21 Pilots. I could see you becoming obsessed with 21 Pilots, Benson. It's
I
Really,
could
why do
see
you
it.
say
they're the band for the new generation, the young kids, the millennials.
that?
Derek,
I've never heard of
I
them.
need to remind you again that on paper you're a millennial.
Well, I'm talking about early 20s millennials.
All right.
They
Yeah, I
did
don't
this.
know.
They
I
were
don't.
on the MTV Movie Awards a couple of years ago with a truly heinous song. This is a very poppy, very catchy
I
tune.
like
This
the
new one.
lyrics because it resonates with my current thoughts on life.
But some of their earlier stuff is garbage. And I
Oh yeah.
remember tweeting, "Oh, 21 Pilots suck. Fuck these guys." And then inundated with hot young 21 Pilots fans on Twitter going, "Yeah, we want to fuck these guys. Fuck you." And I'm like, "Oh my god, just trying to enjoy the MTV Movie Awards, ladies." Anyway, it's been a while. It's been about 2 months.
It's been over 2 months. December
Yeah, it's the first
13th
one
was
of
our last
2016.
episode. So happy 2016. Derek hates everything now. I don't
Should
know
we
what's up with
do
that.
should we do our best of 2015?
Ah,
I don't even remember
I
2015.
forgot it now. I like Star Wars. You hated Star Wars.
Right.
What else did I
Benson
like?
likes Star Wars,
It's
right?
true. Yeah, I like Star Wars. Yes.
I
I
don't know how you can
love.
like
Okay, I think
anything.
we all
Hold on,
like
hold
the
on, hold
Hateful Eight,
on, hold
right?
on, hold on. I don't know how you can like anything after hours and hours of mind-numbing movie watching and then just deliriously watching The Force Awakens after like what was it, like a 48-hour marathon or something?
Oh yeah,
Uh,
Benson did the marathon.
yeah, I did the Star Wars marathon. No, I mean it
Did you
started.
sleep through the prequels?
What? What'd you say, Brendo?
Did you sleep through the prequels?
No, I watched them all. I can't sleep in public.
Jesus. Oh, that's right.
Uh, so
Why
yes, I mean, it
not?
started at 3 a.m. My body will not allow that. I cannot fall asleep in
I
public.
can't sleep
Do you
on
do that?
planes.
Do you do that thing where your body's falling asleep and then it just jerks awake?
Yeah,
Okay.
but I mean, I didn't get
I
that
would
tired
want to be
anyway for the
around for
Star
that
Wars.
because then I could like call the police
I
on you.
I was doing that at the Avengers marathon, the 28-hour one. But no, the Star Wars marathon was easy. Starts at 3 a.m. You're out of there by 10 p.m. That's nothing.
That's a better time frame.
Yeah, that's. I mean, that's
Again, for
your
somebody, once you've done a 24-hour plus marathon, like everything else is gravy.
Well, the Avengers marathon is longer.
the Avengers 2 or the Age of Ultron marathon where it was all 11 movies.
Oh, okay. Oh, I like reading that. I wish there was a little more in depth, but I can, because Benson has a real chance to be like a geek Hunter S. Thompson, because he is going into the mouth of madness
Yeah.
with a bunch of these gross people and like just getting delirious with no sleep watching all these movies. Three of them, most of them, which are they probably don't like.
I mean,
But I
I
wish
like
there was
4
more
out of the
pros. I
7.
wish there was
That's
more.
more.
What's that?
I like 4 out of the 7 movies I watched that day. That's more than half.
That's not bad. Now that you have like a full-time job and things, do you think childish things must be put aside like that?
Uh, no, actually, my new job, which I got in between our recording, it's less hours than my old job. So
Benson has a normal job. He got his own place. I mean, Benson's winning at life now.
yeah,
So the pet
2016 year
thing,
Benson.
I'm
the pet
losing at
thing is
life.
like, we'll get to that. But
We're
the
like
pet,
George and Elaine. One of us has to be down for the
It
other
has
to be
to.
up.
It's just the law of the. It's what keeps the universe in balance. And Derek's just in the middle.
Brendo is a amalgamation of George, Elaine, and Kramer, and
Definitely
Franklin
not Jerry.
Delano
Just not Jerry.
Romanowski. No,
Aspirational Jerry. Never gonna get there.
but the pet job was like more than 40 hours a week.
Yeah, it was like 40 to 45 hours a week pet job. Yeah.
Dang.
And this new one's like just 40.
No, this new one's like 30, but it pays a lot more per hour, so it
That's
works out.
nice. There you go. You get to work
Yeah.
with a friend of the show, Chris Gutierrez.
Sort of. I mean, we work for a school district and they send us to different schools, so we haven't worked together yet, but we are both employed by the
Are you
same
like a
school district.
motivational speaker? You go to like middle schools and
Yep, I go to middle schools. I tell them
what do you do? What talents do you possess that the school was like,
He's
we
a
need a
warm body that can handle.
how. Well, I'm a paraeducator, which basically I sometimes they'll send me and I'll be like just a general sort of teacher's aide where I'm just kind of helping the class. Everything moves along smoothly. Sometimes they'll assign me to a specific student, usually a special ed student, to just kind of help them out throughout the day. And then sometimes
Did
they'll
you
just
show
send
them
me to
this podcast for like references of how to deal with
Yeah,
difficult.
troubled youth?
it's a reference from Brendo.
What's your attire? Do you have to like wear business clothes?
No, I mean they never really told me anything. I just have like a I try to dress somewhat nice, I mean, not like nice, but more than a t-shirt, like a button down.
Huh. Look at
Well,
him.
the last shift they sent me on, they did tell me I could just wear like jeans and t-shirt because I was actually with the graphics people, so I was printing out the letters that the district send to the district. We had to print that send all the students in the district. So I had to print like 20,000 pages of this letter that they were sending to everyone.
You're like a school PA.
Yeah, basically.
Is this like that movie where John Cryer was a cop and they sent him to high school because he kind of looks like a high school student?
It's 21 Jump Street.
No, there's a John Cryer movie about that.
Oh.
I'm not. I mean, I'm not.
Do kids think you're a narc, Benson? Is that?
Yeah, how are the
I mean,
kids
I'm
treating
gonna
you?
go blood classes. They don't. They don't. I don't think there's a big narc fear there.
Is there any like crushes because you're like the older guy, but like you can't do anything about it because they're all like 12?
No, because I'm not a pedophile. So that handles
Alright.
that nicely.
You heard it here first.
Oh my God.
What grades are you dealing with?
It's. I mean, so far I've only dealt with middle school and high school, but theoretically it's K through 12. Oh, actually, I did. The last school I went to was a adult transition school for special ed students, trying to get them ready to live on their own, basically. So those were actually like young adults. Those were post 12.
I predict something's gonna go down between Benson and one of these
That's
ladies.
terrible.
Not like in a exploitative way. He's gonna like find romance, but the law's gonna have something else to say about it, and so I'm gonna
Yeah.
hear this story secondhand, and I'm gonna be like, "What?" And then I'm gonna want Benson's story, and he's never gonna talk to me ever again because he's like on the run or something.
I think Benson's gonna meet like a cute substitute teacher or something.
Oh, yeah, that's
I
not
think this is
juicy.
just like a job that I'm gonna go to
I think
every
something.
day.
I think something.
A
Something
lot of
wild's
people
gonna
find
happen.
their significant others in the workplace.
A lot of people I know do something wild, and then I don't end up talking to them for years, and then I corner them later on. I'm like, what the fuck went on? Now there's
Yeah, well,
kids, and you're
yeah,
divorced now.
I don't think that's gonna happen at this job, Derek. Sorry to disappoint you.
Okay. Well, who knows? You weren't getting any romances in that dog place,
It's true.
which is also illegal. You ever have any workplace romances, Brendo?
Uh, Not really. No. I mean, like there was this girl at a video store I worked at, but really she just was being. I think she was just coming on to me so I would buy alcohol for her. I was not 100% sure.
Yeah, Benson's that guy now at the school.
What are you talking about?
He's like the Fonz.
I
He's
mean,
like the. You think
Yeah.
the Fonz bought the Richie and stuff alcohol?
oh, completely. Yes, absolutely. We
Saw
had that guy in high school. He was like in college. Well, he was. He should have been in college, but he wasn't. But he was the guy that like bought booze and sold
Yeah, cool,
the.
a cool guy.
It's just one of those guys. Yeah. Which, like, looking back, it's like that's kind of sad. But I mean, when you're in high school, you think that's like the coolest guy in the world.
I could see Benson becoming like that guy in Freaks and Geeks with the fake IDs, but less
The Jason
predatory.
Schwartzman
La-
guy,
he's
or
no,
the
no, no, no,
oh no,
the
the other guy. Yeah,
The
that
guy
guy,
who
Kevin
actually took the
Corcoran.
picture.
That really
yeah,
shady
but
guy, Millie's cousin.
less creepy,
Not shady.
not creepy, not predatory. He
I
won't be
think
all
that guy's sole trait is creepiness.
no, but he's got a business going. You know, he's older. That was a really scary moment in Freaks and Geeks where he's like, "Oh, you made me feel foolish. Ask for your number, man," and everybody's all fucking tense about it.
Yeah.
He's a really good actor. He's in a lot
Yeah.
of he's good in almost everything I've seen him in.
Great in Community.
Yeah. Speaking of Community, I
Sickles.
mean, speaking of Benson's all-star time, I mean, he interviewed Dan Harmon on his Community podcast.
That's true. Dan Harmon was on Shut Up Leonard. It was a great moment for me.
How do you feel about Andrew stealing the credit when he posted, "I interviewed Dan Harmon," when it was
That's
really you
technically
that,
correct. He did.
no,
I
it was
mean,
if you listen to it, Benson is the one that asks most of the questions. Andrew doesn't really say anything.
It's still correct what Andrew said. I have
Derek
no
Stern
problem with
lie
that.
all the time.
and
Got beef
you
going with Phil, trying to start shit with Lindy.
and you Benson said we interviewed them, and Andrew said I interviewed them. It's very weird.
Some
Yeah,
people choose to speak in a certain voice.
Yeah, I don't know why Derek's so invested in just stirring up shit with all
That's
that.
what he
It's
does.
it's just what I
'Cause he's
see.
Mr. That's all he has for his amusement is ripping
what
on
I
people
see.
for liking Deadpool and liking Star Wars and stirring the pot with otherwise innocent people such as Andrew Lindy and Phil Vecchio.
I wouldn't call either of them innocent.
What
They're
did Phil
both
do?
innocent. Oh, Phil kind of blackballed Derek from Radio Burno Man.
Yeah, you banned me. Yeah, you missed it while you're out having a life. I'm here infighting with these wackos. But meanwhile, you're strong-arming Phil out of getting a Disneyland pass.
Hey, I agreed with you, and he didn't do it for more practical reasons. Because the last time they went, they said like 18 rides were closed, and it was like super crowded because of that. And now they're doing surge pricing and all this other crazy shit.
Universal's doing that too.
That's where they got the idea. Well, they've been
Um,
talking about it for years, but I think that was what gave them the go ahead.
Also, all the amenities that Phil was talking about is stuff they already did, but I don't think Phil knew about them. Like those screenings and stuff, they've been doing that for years for annual pass
They've been
holders.
doing more stuff now because so much of the park is closed.
Right. You must like that, Benson, closed amusement parks.
Yep, shut them down. Shut them all down.
You got to go to Harry Potter World. Now you're going to Harry Potter World all the time. You practically live at Hogwarts now.
Yeah, it's nice.
Sipping your
Did you
butter
see that?
beer.
Before I get into that, did you see that Matt Cohen effectively ended Bagged and Boarded and then rebooted it again?
Yeah, he's done that like 5 times. He also went to Universal with Joey Ryan, and I'm super fucking jealous. And then I don't know if you saw this, Benson. Christopher Daniels is Deacon in the Waterworld show now.
What? I did not
Yeah.
see that.
Who's that?
Well, you know
The wrestler?
the Dennis Hopper character, but he's a wrestler. Like,
Well,
Benson
I
and
know, I know Waterworld, but
He's a wrestler
who's the guy?
that Benson
You
and
know,
I enjoy.
they say their credits at the end because they're stunt people basically.
Yeah, he's done other stunt work before. Like that's
And
kind
he's
of
like-
his side gig.
And it's all like stuff like from Parenthood. This guy, because somebody fell out of a window on Parenthood once, and you're like, I don't remember that guy from Parenthood. And then the Deacon, when I saw him, he was like, and I'm from CSI New York, and I'm like, Gary Sinise as Deacon? I would watch that.
Well, it was Christopher Daniels' first day, and so yeah.
Is Joey Ryan, does he show up on Fuller House? Am I understanding
Yes.
that correctly from some Facebook posts I
Yeah,
saw?
well, Derek was telling me I haven't watched it yet. There's a wrestling episode, and
Okay.
DJ wrestles. Is that what you're saying, Derek?
Yes. Yes.
And I think he's in that episode. I think he might be one. I think he might have a mask on, but he's definitely
Because
in
I
it.
just saw he posted pictures of himself on the set.
Yeah, in front of the Gibbler poster, the Do It Gibbler style.
Sure.
Fuller House is great, and people are fucking
Did
crazy. And I don't think any like first of all, like people are like, oh, the critics hate it. I'm like, the critics hated Full House. Like, why is anybody surprised? Like, and also like, if you didn't like Full House, why do you think you're gonna like Fuller House? Like, that's exactly what it is. Like, people are being fucking stupid. I don't understand it. I don't think anybody actually watched Full House. I guess that's my takeaway from all this. Because Full House is cheesy as fuck. But if you like it, you're gonna like Fuller House, because that's exactly what it is. I cried during the first episode, like not even joking.
why? At what?
I don't know. It just made me feel like made me feel good. It made me remember simpler times when I would watch Full House and Saved by the Bell and watching on Friday nights, and I don't know, man. It took me right back there. It felt really good. And then once they got away from that nostalgia piece, then it's on its own. It's a fun family show. I mean, the kids are funny. They're on these funny situations. I saw the one where they like DJ and Kimmy are doing a dirty dancing dance and Macy Gray is singing. It's fucking crazy. The show is awesome. Macy Gray's making fun of herself. Like, that was funny. I thought it was great.
Well, I'm not crying over it, but it's enjoyable. Do you think there's too much crying in media today? Everybody's crying. A lot of resurrection things
You
are being
just get
resurrected.
uncomfortable with people having emotions, Derek. I'm not gonna follow you down that
I know,
path.
I know, but you're crying over. I've never heard you talk about Full House ever, and you're crying.
I
But
think
what
it's
part
just
made you cry?
it wasn't specifically a part. I mean, it was just watching them do it again. Like, just brought me back to that time in my life. I mean, that's nostalgia at its highest. I mean, I for one love it. I mean, people complain about it all the time, and it's like, then don't fucking watch it. Like, fuck you for ripping on me for enjoying something. Like, when you guys were ganging up on in the Angry Naked Pat, like, you didn't participate, Derek, but other people, like, that really pissed me off. Like, really pissed me off. Because, like, why do you guys fucking care if this guy has an emotional connection to a TV show? Like, you never had an emotional connection to anything? Fuck you.
Should you be vlogging,
Why?
doing like little Brendo rants about this kind of thing?
I'm not that guy. That's fucking stupid. Fuck those guys.
Would that be a what do they call it? Where you let off some steam?
Nah, I got other ways to let off steam. I just yell.
At me?
To,
Could you, if you did it, I think you'd go viral and like.
I don't want to be a viral yelling guy. Fuck those guys.
Wouldn't you though? I mean, that's not too bad. I mean,
No,
you
that's
want to be,
bad.
you want a
People,
little fame.
hey, because all it would take was like, because it would, people would, I would get so much hateful shit, and I'm a very weak person. I would die. I would kill myself on the air. Like, I would.
On the
like,
air.
Oh yeah, I would fucking, I would like fucking, that would destroy me. I can't handle that. I can't handle that shit. I'm very sensitive. You know this.
Well, that went dark. Well, the Miranda Sings lady. You
It's
know
okay.
her?
I'm going to therapy.
That's good.
Not
That's
until
very
March
good.
10th because the system is fucked up. But
All right.
it's happening.
We'll hold you until then. That's good because Batman v Superman comes out March 25th. You'll be able to handle it.
I don't know how I'm gonna deal with all that stuff. I mean, I think I just think it's gonna be dumb and fun.
So
That's where
anyway,
I'm
that
at.
Miranda Sings lady,
Sorry.
I've been following her.
Who's Miranda Sings? I don't know what you're talking about with this.
She's a YouTube star.
What is up with all these YouTube people? Is this? I guess this is the thing now.
She was on that Comedians in Cars because Jerry Seinfeld's daughter likes her, so he had her on Comedians in Cars getting coffee. And there was a MTV True Life about her, and I saw a vlog recently where she's like, MTV really made us seem like monsters. I'm like, they were crying, and they did a lot of crying vlogs. That's how she gets. That's how she blows off some steam. That could be you.
No, no way. Again, I would. Somebody
Become
would
like
say
the middle
things.
school.
All it
like,
would take
oh.
was like 10 bad comments, and I would shoot myself in the head.
You can
Well,
disable comments on YouTube videos.
yeah, easy.
I don't want to be that guy because then people would make reaction videos, and the one thing I hate more than YouTube comments, it's fucking reaction videos. We're in this
Then the
world of like these reaction videos are going viral, then the reactions to the reactions, and then like, oh, this person just slammed this person. Check out this guy. Bleh. Fuck
well,
all of that.
the Sklar brothers patented or something. They copyrighted reaction videos, so we're not going to see them anymore.
What?
The
that
Sklar
real?
brothers, they copyrighted reaction videos.
I don't think that's possible.
Well, they did it.
It's probably gonna not hold up in court.
Wouldn't it be cool though if Benson went
Sounds
to
like
work and
something
all his
they're
middle
doing for a
school,
comedy bit.
all those middle school kids are talking about the latest Brendo Man post? You
That
can
could be the
parlay
solution
into
to all our
Brendo tries
problems,
lunch.
but kids aren't gonna know what the fuck I'm talking about. They're not gonna fucking care.
No, you could be. No, it'll be
They're gonna
like,
be like,
first of all, that'll
what
be
is
the
this guy
gateway.
crying?
Like, here's this.
It'd be like me crying after Daniel Bryan retired, and me flipping out because you hate Deadpool.
Who is
And they're gonna
that?
be like, what the fuck is this fat fuck? Like, listen to this idiot.
Jesus.
I don't want to be famous for that.
And while we're addressing that, you said that you went to the movie to spite me,
Yeah, because
and then
I
put
was
yourself
on
in
the
the category of
movie.
people I was making fun of.
I was just
But then
really
you're putting
pissed off
yourself
at
in the
your
category-
reaction to that and the way you were going after people, and I don't like that. So I'm like, you know what? I am
But
gonna see it.
You put yourself in the crosshairs.
Yeah, but why is there a crosshairs? What the fuck kind of world are we living in where you gotta feel like you gotta make yourself feel better by attacking people for liking something? This is a fucked up world, Derek, and I'm fucking
Anyway.
tired of it. I'm gonna fight it. I'm gonna fight it all the way down, Derek.
All right.
All
So
the way.
if you were to make these videos where you're yelling and screaming, then you got the kids, and then you can parlay that into Brendo eats Lunchables, Brendo tries Go-Gurt,
I don't want to
Brendo
do that. That's stupid.
Brendo unboxing videos.
I did get They have Sharkleberry Finn Kool-Aid jammers right now. I think they're permanent and they're pretty good. Ecto Cooler's happening, you guys. I'm so excited.
Yeah, see, you could do this.
I'm gonna buy all of the Ecto Cooler.
You just need to have a few explosive videos in the beginning.
Those guys, you have to relentlessly market yourself. You got to retweet yourself all the time. Fuck all
You
that.
can do that. You're always on the internet.
That's
You're always
annoying.
blogging.
That's annoying. I hate that. I hate all of that. I hate all that self-promotion bullshit.
But you do what you do, and then you post it. That's what you do with Radio Brenda, man.
Yeah, but if I did that because it wouldn't be coming natural. Everything that I do comes naturally. If I was forcing myself to do anything like that, like I would fucking be miserable. And also, it's stupid. It's artificial bullshit. It's bullshit.
Well,
that's
the
what I'm
integrity,
fighting
man,
against. The bullshit.
tell you.
What?
Okay. What would be the ideal scenario?
What?
If you had a genie and he gave you one wish, what would be the scenario where you're doing what you like and you're making money at it?
That we could
You'd
have.
be like
Phil and I have our venue, and out of that venue we do Radio Brendo Man, and we do all our stuff, and all our friends do their stuff, and we can make a living out of it. And we do our podcast, and we do our comics and writing and movie screenings, and like it's a big venue where we get to do all that cool stuff, and it actually makes money. Well, we have had assorted names. Like now, maybe it would be the Benview Complex, but I mean, for a while it was going to be Popvox Center. Now I don't know. Like maybe we'd incorporate Benview into that.
You call it the Benview venue.
Yeah, Benview venue. I like that. Benview box.
Where is it located? I'm not going to Ukaipa.
Well, I'd probably put it centrally located.
Unless there's
in Los Angeles.
Unless there's a Benview chopper.
Probably be in Los Angeles somewhere to be realistic with things.
You think Phil would move?
If we did that, yeah. Or he would commute. Again, we've discussed all of this. This has been something that Phil and I have been wanting to do since we were like 18 years old. Like that's the dream, man.
Do it.
Well, venues don't make money unless you like sell alcohol, and that's impossible to do. Most venues fail, and it's not a real. It's like, damn, we've tried, we've come close, but it's a very cash
Whatever
intensive,
happened to that?
risky
Stores and
business.
things. Just get a few
Stores don't make
loans.
money now. Like stores do not make money. They don't. Like there's we're living in an internet world. Like that's the thing.
So what are we gonna do then?
Um, I'm gonna scrape by. This is what I always do.
Okay.
Do
So
what
you
I
should Uncle
like,
Joey. You should
and
be the Uncle Joey in the Vecchio household.
I pretty much am.
You
I
know,
just
but
don't live there.
move
I
into
just
the
don't live in
basement
the
or something.
alcove. They don't have a basement. If
Well,
they did, I
they have a
probably would
big
be living there.
garage.
The
They
garage
have a
is
big
full of
garage.
crap.
But remember when he lived in the alcove? That wasn't very convenient.
It's a very tight
You
space.
you can live in there for a while.
I I've done that. That time is
When
moved
drunk
on
could have
now.
crazy schemes, you can get Mama Brendo's spaghetti sauce and try to manufacture it.
I got Saved by the Bell. Screeches spaghetti sauce, Brendo spaghetti sauce, and it's just the Betty Crocker recipe. How would they know? That's what I don't understand. Did they like analyze the ingredients, and how can you patent that? Nothing about that made sense. I'm just going
Maybe
on a
Benson
tangent.
can get you a job at the school district.
Um, no, that's okay.
Could you deal with the youth of today?
Oh, I can. I mean, it's just like
You think
I'm
it'll be
looking
easier dealing with
for
adults or
another
children?
school district job. So
Adults or children, who would be easier to work with?
they both have their upsides and their downsides. I've worked with both.
I think you would be good with children because you're like a beloved cartoon character or
That's
something.
pretty much true.
You're
I mean,
like
kids like me. I'm very likable, very soothing. I don't know.
you're very wacky.
Yeah,
You have catchphrases that they're easy to remember.
yeah, I
You
guess.
go in hilarious tirades, like the Daffy Ducks, the Donald Ducks. If you were a cartoon, you'd be a duck.
You think I'd be a duck?
You'd be a giant duck.
Or like a foghorn leghorn type, maybe. Probably a
More
duck.
of a pontificating. I don't see you pontificating too much,
You don't?
giving off Southern values, that kind
Well,
of thing.
I meant like a big rooster.
I think Benson's more of a foghorn leghorn. If we were to pawn off Looney Tunes characters,
Alright, I'll take that.
you're more of a Sylvester maybe, and Phil's Tweety.
So that makes you, of course, you're Bugs Bunny because you're the star of everything.
I didn't say that.
Well, then what
I
are
wonder
you?
if there's a version of me in your head with like a devil costume that's constantly saying these things that you're
Oh
just
yeah,
getting mad at for no
absolutely.
reason.
I yell at you all the time, even though you're not here.
That's scary. You yell at Benson?
Well, no, because I read your tweets and your bullshit, and then I like filter it through, and I get mad, and that's why sometimes, and then if I really, really am mad, then I'll text you. But then you're just like,
Yeah, those are
"Ugh."
scary. Those are very scary. I'll just get a text that says "fuck you."
Because I'll work myself up into these frenzy that I have to do something. So I'm just
Well,
like,
yeah, vlog. Don't text me. You got to do something else.
you're my friend. Of course I'm gonna text you.
You're gonna text me "fuck you" because you're my friend.
Yeah.
All right. Maybe you need one of those clowns that you can punch that gets right back up.
No, that's okay. I mean, probably would
One of
help.
those shower buddies.
I almost broke my desk the other.
When?
Oh, that Josh thing.
Oh my god. What was he saying?
I don't know. It was stupid. I've known Josh for like ever, and I sometimes though I'll forget, like, and I'll let it get to me, and I almost broke my desk.
Over what?
No, he responded to some of my tweets, and then we got in this whole big thing, and he was he was saying I was like, oh, you're better than this, and I was like, fuck you.
All right. Maybe you should get some enemies and then yell at them.
I'm scared of my enemies
Maybe.
because I legitimately think they might like murder me.
How about like, is there some Ukaipa street toughs that you could like
Ukaipa
become like
street
a
toughs
grand?
would murder me because they're all meth heads, and who knows? Those guys are unpredictable, man.
Well, you could be like the Gran Torino Clint Eastwood and scare them off.
Like an angel, like a street, like what are those like? What was that superhero guy that
Yeah.
came to Smodcastle? Got like bulletproof.
Yeah, you could be like that guy.
That's fucking.
Just tape a
Then I
few
could
pills.
like Brendan Creecy shot in the street in Ukaipa by a zip gun or whatever the fuck. Zip guns. Is that still a thing?
Well, just buy a gun or something.
No, absolutely no. That's a horrible idea.
Yeah, become the Punisher, Brendo.
Yeah, you get your anger out by just knocking a few heads together.
I'm not a violent person. As much as people
How
think
about
I
if you?
am not.
How about if you got
The only
into
time I've ever
boxing or
punched
something?
another person was in self-defense.
What if you got into boxing?
I
That would
can't
be a
do that.
good.
Then I'd get like head trauma, and I already probably have head trauma from playing football and stuff. Like I don't want to have any
You think
more
you have
head trauma.
CTE?
You
Think you have
don't, you won't
CTE?
know for years. I could end up like I was just reading about it. Reading about CTE scares the shit out of me because it's like
Did you
when you're
get
like
knocked around a
16.
lot?
Oh my God, yes. I had concussions.
Oh wow. How
And the
many years
CTE
did
is
you
not
play
from
football?
concussions. It's more from the blows, like the small blows, like afterwards, or even without even getting concussion. And that's all football is. I was an offensive and defensive lineman. That's all I did all day was smash my head against people. So
How long
yeah,
did you
I'm
do
a
that?
little worried about that. It was 2 years.
That would explain a few things.
You think so? And I also had a concussion when I was in college. I worked at Circuit City, and I fell off a ladder, and a TV fell on my head. And Phil had to come help me move. Oh yeah, it's real hilarious. I guess from a
Well,
Three Stooges
that
standpoint. But then
I
Phil
just
and
watched the Flintstones movie, and I could hear the Hanna-Barbera sound effects now.
yeah, but my Phil and my friend Matt had to come help me move because I wasn't allowed to drive a car for like a month.
Huh? Did you have rages when you were a kid before the football?
Rages? Oh, you talked to
Yeah.
my you've asked. I mean, you heard my brother. Yeah, all the time. And my brother, like
So it's probably not. So it's probably not the CTE. You're
no,
probably
I don't
fine.
think it's CTE. CTE is not something that CTE will happen when I'm like 70. Like that's when it happens, like later, way later
Or
in
50.
life.
Or 50.
50s. I mean, like 50s, like but like even then, like I don't know. Who knows? Like, and by then they might have come up with like solutions for it. They're already working on a lot of stuff. Like science is progressing, and I don't even. I mean, who knows? Again, who knows? But it's something I think about. Yeah, definitely. Especially with
I
this
can't
whole
wait for the description of this episode. And Brendo might have CTE. All on a new episode of Popsicles.
I don't know. I mean, like reading about some of the symptoms, like I'm like, yeah,
I
yeah.
feel like this is therapy, and this is free.
Well, yeah, that's why I
Just
love
getting
it so
things
much.
off
That's
your
why I
chest.
love podcasting. That's why I love talking to you guys. You're my friends, even though I yell at
This is
you a
pretty.
lot, Derek.
This is
Not
pretty
Benson so
fascinating. What
much.
else is on? What else is on your mind?
What else is on my
Like
mind? I mean,
brown recluses? Like what? That kind of thing. What's scaring you these
I'm
days?
not scared of spiders. I'm not scared of a lot of things. I mean,
Do
I'm
you
just
watch the evening news? That'll scare
no.
you.
I don't. Fuck no. That's all that is.
Remember on there's this clip of Tony Danza who's about to be interviewed on some local news, and they cut to him early, and he's like, "Oh, good, I'm on the local news, murder and mayhem," and then talk to Tony Danza, and they're like, "Hey, Tony, you're on the air." Oh, he's like, "Oh, did you hear that?" And like, "Yes, we did." He's like, "Well, yeah, you guys suck. I mean, don't you agree?" And they're like, "No." Tony Danza's definitely better in his later years.
Yeah, he's entertaining.
Murder and mayhem. He was in Crash.
Crash
He was like a
sucks.
racist guy in Crash.
I didn't like Crash.
So nothing's scaring you these days? No, Ukaipa Strangler?
No, just the general isolation. That's pretty much
Why
it.
don't you work on catching a killer? Like, find a serial in the area, gather clues.
Because that's not how
Then you'll
things
be
work. Most
you'll be
times,
a
like that's how
hero.
you end up getting killed by a serial killer.
No, I'm with Derek on
That's
this one. I
never,
feel like if you stay careful in the beginning until you know who it is, and you go in,
yeah,
you
there's
call the
no
police when
reason
they're
for them to suspect you.
yeah. The same reason that a serial killer can get away with it, which is no motive, is the way you can get away with finding them without them knowing, because they'd have no reason to know you're doing it.
I don't think we have any serial
You can be
killers in
like
the
You could be
area.
the anti-serial killer.
The
you
killings
can be
that
like
happen
Dexter.
here are
You don't
like
have to kill them, though.
man killed over drugs, and and then I mean we had the
Is it over
San
drugs,
Bernardino
Brenda, or
shootings.
a certain criteria that killer liked?
Okay, I'll
Could
look into
you
it.
infiltrate the
Brendo
drug trade if you
Investigations is
type
on the
enough?
case. That's how I would end up murdered in a box somewhere. So no, thank you.
But you don't hear too much
So many of
about
these
local
scenarios that
investigator
Derek is
murdered.
proposing. What are you talking about? Anything with the drug trade in Southern California equals you're gonna get murdered.
But I don't hear local investigator gets murdered. I never hear that.
That's because they make them disappear, man.
In Mexico, yeah, but not here.
Guess
No, I like
who was operating up here? Dude, so we watched this. So our friend Josh Roush, friend of the show, showed a short film at at a film festival in LA,
Yes.
and one of the films that played next to his was about like the teenage. It was like a true story about the teenage cartel assassins based out of like Arizona. It was fucking terrifying. You could get murdered by a 13-year-old who's trained. His only thing is he's trained to kill you. Fuck that, Derek. Fuck that. I'm not getting murdered by some Call
But
of
just
Duty player guy comes riding up on his bicycle with a fucking gun and a silencer, just like tap tap, Brendo, dead.
well, then you'd have to go through some weapons training.
No, I hate guns.
Imagine why is Brendo all of a sudden arming himself and everybody's getting all worried? But then you can just get your PI license
I had a
and
panic attack when I went to the gun range the last time with my friends.
you can be like the non-lethal weapon detective.
No, it's super hard to get a PI license in California.
Well, then you can
Yeah,
do it illegally. You
I've
know,
looked into it.
that
I've
would
looked
be
into
his.
it, and also
Have
doing
you?
PI work
Wait, have
is
you?
yes.
I've looked into it too. Dude,
Being a
Brendo and I
PI
both-
is
Of
so
course,
fucking
but oh my God,
I
please,
actually
both
did
of
a
you
ride
team
along
up.
with a PI, and I swear to God, we just sat there. It's mostly just like sitting around for hours.
You
It's like
sit
staking
around.
out people who are cheating on their wives and stuff, and it's the most boring thing. And the pay sucks, and also there's the chance that you might get shot by somebody. Like it's not. There's a high reward. I mean, high risk, very low reward. It's
I can't
not like
believe
the
the
movies.
both of you looked into that. I
Fucking, of
please
course
team
we
up.
did. Come on.
Please team up.
Brendo and
know-
Oh my
Benson and
God,
Brendo and
Yeah.
Benson, detectives at
Investigations.
large.
Well,
that would be a good
it's-
podcast.
It is very hard to get a PI license in California. You have to have like 2 years of full-time experience, like either as a police officer or as like an apprentice PI. But in Texas, currently, Brendo and I both meet the standards to have a PI.
Yeah, but in Texas, people carry guns everywhere, and you will get shot.
That's literally like that Simpsons spin-off show where Wiggum and Skinner become PIs.
Like, I'm going to Dallas next month for WrestleMania, and I'm, like, afraid.
No, we'll go to
Oh,
Austin where it's nice, and we'll be PIs. It'll be great, bro.
Because, like, wrestling fans with guns, like, I don't know what that's going to be like. Like, at some of these indie shows, like, fuck. I don't know. Well, I guess if they're from out of town, they're not bringing their guns.
Yeah.
It's the people from town you have to be worried about.
I'm obsessed with this idea because you could do a podcast where you conceal your identities, but it's clearly you guys, but it's that. Hello, this is Brendo. And this is Benson.
But we're going to say our names?
Or whatever. You can have your nickname. You can be John, your favorite alias. Benson, who would you be?
Schmenson.
Schmenson. This is Schmet. Schment. No, that's a friend of mine, Schmenson. Yeah, I don't know.
What did you always want to be called?
Yeah, what if you could be called
John.
anything?
I'm sure there's a point of time where you hated
Then we
the
would be
name Matt.
J&J Security. That'd be awesome.
I don't know if I've told it on air on this podcast, but I have talked many times to people about how my dad wanted to name me Buffalo, but my mom would not
Oh
let
my
him.
god.
That'd be
I could
awesome.
totally see you naming
Buffalo
your son
Benson,
Buffalo.
Buff Benson,
Yeah, would have been great,
Oh
right?
my god.
Buff and Brendo. Yeah. Yeah.
So
That
you're
would
keeping your
definitely
real
suit him.
Okay,
It
Buff
would be
and
like Big Trouble in Little China. You guys would be excited and you'd get into some danger, but you'd get out of it.
then we get killed by aliens.
Aliens.
They're aliens. Those were aliens. No, they were like gods. They were like.
No, I'm saying that it would be fun. I mean, you get into some scrimps and scrapes, but
I'm
you'd
not the
get
kind
out
of guy
of it.
that
I
gets
mean,
out of scrimps and scrapes.
you're alive, aren't you? I've heard of tell of you getting out of some tough situations.
Just by just sheer luck.
When the going gets tough, the tough get going. That's your
All
motto.
right. Well, we'll continue
That's the
pursuing our.
tagline of your detective.
We could also offer like
Rough
protection
Creecy.
services. Because we're
Yeah,
too-
you talk about wanting to be like a bouncer all the time. It's just the next step.
Yeah, but not really. Like a fake bouncer. Like just for appearances.
Right. But you've talked a lot about it, so you clearly want to do something about it.
Not really. It's just
You'd be
talk.
like Dog the Bounty Hunter. He looks all tough, but when shit goes down, he's not going to do anything.
Yeah, but he's got guys attacking him, and he can handle that. I couldn't handle that. Some guy comes at me.
Yeah,
Fuck.
Dog the Bounty Hunter's also been like, didn't he have like a murder charge at one point?
Yeah,
Wasn't he
like
convicted of murder at one point?
doing all that shit. I mean, fuck, I couldn't do that. Like again, like the one time I ever punched a guy was because he pulled a knife on me, and I don't know how. I just somehow got lucky shot, broke his jaw.
You ever fear going to jail?
All the fucking time, watching Lockup and shit.
Right,
Holy
but what do you
shit.
think you'd get locked up for?
It'd probably be some mistake.
Like a case of mistaken identity?
Something like that, or I was at the wrong. I tend to be at the wrong place, the wrong time, and
Like what?
I could get mixed up in something, like I don't know, and then like I get blamed for something. I'm the patsy. I easily patsy.
What I'm afraid of is that I like accidentally hit some mobster's kid or something, or hit the wrong person and then they sue, and they have really good lawyers, and then you go to jail. I'm afraid of that. Like afraid of going to jail on an accident.
Yeah, it's crazy. It could happen. It could happen to anybody at any time. That's the
Because a
world we
friend of
live in.
mine was telling stories about going to jail. You have to shit in front of everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not all you have to do.
That's definitely one of the worst parts of it, right? If you had to put a top 3 list about jail, of top 3 worst things about jail, that's got to be in there.
It's up there. It definitely sounds like it. I mean, it sounds horrible. A lot of everything about jail sounds horrible.
What do you think the worst thing would be? Let's not count the raping, because that's theoretical.
I don't know if I get put
Not
in.
everybody
If
gets
I would probably freak out or something, get put in the isolation unit, and then I just get stuck there forever, and then I like slowly go crazy. And you got to eat that loaf thing that they make you eat in there.
You're talking about Orange is the New Black.
No, it's
A
not
loaf?
just on Orange and Black. It's on everything. I mean, I watched Lockup. I watched all this shit. I've read articles. That's
You're gonna
totally
get
real.
rotten olive loaf to eat.
They give you that loaf, and then you don't even have a mattress, and you slowly just
Give you
fucking
that
go
loaf.
crazy. And I'd just be trying to find a way to kill myself. That's horrible. Try and kill myself with the loaf.
But if you've seen Shawshank Redemption, if you show the fear,
I'm not that
everybody's
resourceful.
All you have to do is lay low for a few days.
You know me, I would freak out. I've already said this. I'm that fish. First night, I'm freaking out.
So what would be so you're saying the worst part of jail would be solitary?
Well, yeah, because I'd probably end up in there, or just getting beat up all the time and bullied, and I'd have like flashbacks to, and then that's when I'd freak out on somebody because I'd think it was like my fourth grade bully, except it's some big dude who's gonna shank me, and
What
I
if
don't
it is your
know.
fourth grade bully? What if the good bodies are in the same prison as you?
Then I'd have a complete nervous breakdown.
What if they're nice now and they're like, "Oh, Brenda, I'm sorry I burned your garbage pail, kids."
I don't know. I'd want an explanation. I'd want reparations.
What was the worst thing about JLB, Benson?
I don't know.
You
Just probably.
seem to me like a guy that takes his shitting very seriously.
I mean, that is true, but I think still more
You
than
wouldn't
that.
go in
Just,
that Carl's Jr. bathroom when the guy walked. Think about that. Think about that, Benson. That guy walking out of you, except there is no door and there's just somebody there.
yeah, I mean, yeah, it would be bad, but I still think that just constant fear I would live in prison would be worse than that.
Well, that too. Absolutely.
But that
I would just
eventually goes away.
And then like the
no.
guards are like trying to do shit. Just reading about prison guards, like that sounds awful. Like awful.
Do you think you could be a prison guard?
No, I would get killed or I would die or I would go crazy.
Only if you were like a mean one.
But
If
then if
you're
you're
the
not
guy
mean, then
over...
the prison you have to be mean because then the prisoners walk all over you, and then I'd be part of some prison scam thing. I get caught up in it because I'd be too scared to do anything, and then I'm like smuggling drugs in my body because some guy's threatening me, and I'm scared, and that's how I end up going to prison.
You're not as impressionable as you're making it seem.
I'm very impressionable when it comes to like threats of violence.
I just watched the Stanford Prison Experiment, the most recent movie based on that. I think Brenda will be like Josh Peck in that movie, where like at the start he's like, "Nah, I don't want to be a guard. Everyone hates the guards," and then like second one as a guard, he's just like immediately abusing his power.
Just like clubbing dude. And then I'd get murdered. Either way, I get murdered. All those scenarios end up with me getting shanked in the neck.
How often do prison escapes happen? Not
It
very
sounds
often.
like a lot. Like riots and escapes and all this shit. And then they do things to distract people while they attack a guard. Guards get beat up all the time. I'd be getting beat up
I
like
could
all
see
the time.
you. Okay, how about a mental facility?
No.
Like a
Fuck that.
Tuscadero in Terminator 2?
Ugh.
I could see somebody doing that trick where they throw your keys up in the air and you catch it and they just club you in the belly. Again, that guy deserved it because he was like a weird sexual predator. And Sarah Connor had to break the mop handle and beat him.
I don't want to get beat up by Sarah Connor. That's scary.
So don't lick her in the night.
I'm not gonna do that, but like I don't know. Again, like people get the wrong idea. You get the wrong idea about me.
Going back a little bit, do you realize, Benson, that the image of you on the shitter is permanently burned into that guy's brain?
I don't think so, based on how fucking casual and cool he was about it, which is the part that bothered me. Like, he just came in and looked like, oh, okay, and then he slowly turned around and walked out.
Was it really that slowly, or did it just seem like time was going very slowly?
I mean, I think it was both. It was definitely like he was in no hurry to get out of there, and then it seemed like even longer because of the shame that was happening.
Could people see you from inside the restaurant?
I don't think so.
I was at a different angle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you see that
But that
guy
one-
after when you left?
We sat right next to him eating dinner.
You know, that would be enough to keep me away from Carl's Jr. proper forever. But
I mean,
you
yeah,
keep
it was
I
terrible.
made Benson go against his will, and then that happened. So I definitely don't think he's been back at Carl's Jr. since.
Oh, so
then.
that did happen. You don't like Carl's Jr. anymore.
He already didn't like Carl's Jr. because of the French toast thing, and because of their advertising.
Yeah, that's
And
correct.
then the water thing happened, and then this thing, and
What
I
was
don't
the
know.
water thing again?
No, he wouldn't drink the water.
Yeah.
Right. Are you still like that, or is this new life of yours opening your life up?
Do I still have principles, you mean, Derek? Yes,
I
I
guess.
do, God damn it.
Okay. Well, I was hoping those would melt away, but you know, whatever.
Derek, why did you not like Hail Caesar? You're crazy.
It's boring.
You love movies. That's all it's all about. It's about how movies save us all.
I don't go in there wanting to hate it. It's just boring. What do you
You're
want from
fucking
me?
crazy. You've
Anyway.
lost my. You're entertaining to read your stuff though. I
Thank
like
you.
your reviews.
Anyway, so wasn't there news recently that the French toast sticks were back?
I was confused. It's a French toast sandwich.
Oh, Brendo told you that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I said I wasn't
And
sure, and then Benson, of course, tweets Carl's Jr. directly.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I looked it
That's
up,
not
and I'm
very
like, oh, it's a French toast-based breakfast sandwich, which I had. It is very good.
It's not the same.
What about like?
That's not a direct.
I
In
got
Brendo's
some
day,
French
when he
toast
wanted to know
sticks.
something, hold on. If Brendo wanted to know something from a company, he would literally call them on the phone and speak directly to a person. The tweeting thing is it's a little cowardly.
I don't put the dot before. I don't know. I'm a millennial, Derek. This is how we communicate to people.
Do you
I did
feel
get the vice
strongly enough
president at AT&T to
to
contact
say
me
what?
because I
About
tweeted
what?
because Uverse bullshit. Worked my way up the chain. So sometimes it does work in specific situations.
Would you ever call Carl's Jr. directly? Does it ever get that bad, Benson?
I don't know what could be solved from calling them directly.
Well, then you can converse
They
with
have
it.
a phone number on their receipt.
Yeah. Then what? It's the exact same thing that can be solved by tweeting them.
Yeah, but a tweet takes like a second. I don't
But the
know what
tweets
you
are managed by like
you said.
And that's
media
the
person.
answer. A tweet
They're
takes
not going to
6
respond to
seconds.
that stuff. Whereas if you called them, you might actually be able to talk to somebody that could at least give you some sort of explanation and maybe send you a free coupon.
The free coupon for food I don't want to eat.
It's good food.
Or you can find out secrets like Brendo did that Diet Coke is really New Coke.
Yeah, but I already kind of knew that. I was just
No.
confirming my
See,
hunches.
there's your investigative powers. Just put it from soda to murder.
Yeah,
I
but
don't know
calling
what
Coke
you,
might not. It doesn't end up with me getting killed in an alley somewhere.
That's not
I don't know
gonna
what answer you think I want. I know what happened. They discontinued a great product. I don't know what explanation you think I'm looking for.
So you're just harassing them then.
Yeah.
He's just expressing his dissatisfaction, and we live in a
Alright.
society that allows us to do that.
Do you still have your fast food picadillos?
Sure. Me and Wendy's are on the outs now.
What?
What did they do?
Well, they've been. The key reason why I loved Wendy's so much was the excellence of their value menu, but they've been raising prices on that value menu.
Everybody's raising prices on their value menus. It's
McDonald's introduced the McTwo for $2. They're going in the right direction, while Wendy's
That's
is
true,
going in
but
the
they
wrong
also
direction.
raise the prices. A lot of them raise the prices on their McDoubles because they want you to order that breakfast food, which is awesome.
Mind you, I'm still not happy with McDonald's for not having the McRib this year or last year.
That is bullshit. And they also got rid of Monopoly too. What the fuck?
We had to deal with like 6 years of no McRib.
I know, and it was a dark time, and now it's coming back, and I don't like that.
And people keep saying get those AM PM McRibs. Those things are disgusting and bullshit.
You said that to me at one point.
I said I was looking into it, and then I did, and they're gross. I got violently ill.
Brendo said got his top men in that investigation.
I said it was undetermined. I determined, baby.
Let me see your George Costanza. I was watching Hateful Eight yesterday.
You did it. You did the Tarantino 8. Congratulations.
Hold on.
Yeah. I must have talked about that on a Popsicles.
I don't know.
Must have done one at least in January.
You didn't do
I
a
think we did
Popsicles
one in January.
No?
No?
You talked about it on Radio Brendo Man. Because you were on Radio Brendo Man.
Oh. I watched every Quentin Tarantino movie every Friday at midnight from January 1st.
And you had some crazy line situations. I
Crazy.
witnessed one of them. I went to one.
What did you witness?
That like everybody got there because everybody got there crazy early because it was like I guess Pulp Fiction. It was just nuts. Or Jackie Brown. It was like you said, it was like crazy. So then when Kill Bill Volume 1 happened, everybody was like got there, and then so many people stayed away that time because it was crazy previously. Doesn't you say like hundreds of people came, like several hundred?
The first week, Benson,
Yeah.
it was the most people I've ever seen at the New Beverly, and I forgot my wallet. So I got in line not even knowing. Let this be a story of hope and aspiration for you. I got in the line not even thinking that I would get in, and then when I got close enough, because also they were putting people in the wrong lines, so I got like 200 people ahead because a bunch of people were in the wrong line.
Nice.
You
But Carmen
Gutierrez did?
Oh, is that what he did?
Maybe
Yeah, he did
one
it on
time.
purpose.
But karma got me later on. It was a very this last 9 weeks have been like a roller coaster ride. But anyway, that first week when I realized I was close enough to get a ticket, because if you didn't go that first week, that was it. You didn't get the card. You need to see all 8 to get the prize at the end. I had to ask people. I wonder if you would do this, Benson. I had to ask the people around me, is somebody willing to buy this ticket for me? I will pay them back.
That's some
Even though I didn't
balls.
have any identification. Oh, I never felt so alive, Brendo. I was scared at first, but I was like, oh, this is exhilarating.
I did that once, and it was at a Hideo Miyazaki thing because I knew he was never going to be there again, and he wasn't. And I just straight up started asking people, it's like, please,
For what?
to get in because it was sold out when we got there.
Oh,
I'm
a movie?
getting, well, it was him doing a Q&A with John Lasseter.
Uh-huh. Did you get
Like,
in?
Yes, we got in. Somebody sold me their ticket for face value. I'm hoping I
Nice.
have that mojo again
I was
when I go to
asking-
Dallas.
I wasn't doing that. I was asking somebody to give me money.
Yeah, which is even more
That's-
like.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Is there anything that would you have to be put in that situation, Benson?
No,
Could you
I
see
don't think
yourself doing that?
I don't think I would ever do that. I think I would just have gone home at that point.
See, and then that's why I'm victorious because I had the guts to do it.
Yeah.
I paid the guy back. It was a few weeks, but I paid him back. I found him.
You
and I
got
paid
sent to
him
the
back.
back of the line a couple weeks ago, right?
Yeah, that was a mistake. Again, the karma.
Came back
It was
around.
fun. Anyway, I saw Hateful Eight. Going back to what we were originally talking about, of Brendo investigating the rib witch at the
Hey, I'm just
8 p.m.
trying to like tell the story for our listeners.
Is the Kurt when they're offloading at Minnie's haberdashery and they ask Kurt Russell to help with the bodies on the top or the luggage or the horses, and he's like, "Aren't you gonna help in the snowstorm? We can do it quicker if you help." He's like, "I got 2 of my top men on it." I thought that was funny. Brendo had his top men on that rib witch investigation.
I've always got we got stuff going on.
So you're the same old Benson, is what you're telling me.
Yep.
Success hasn't changed you. Well, that's good to know.
No.
I was hoping
Still-
a little bit of change, but it's fine. I was fine with you before.
Thanks.
Incidentally, do we have any mail,
I
Brendo
don't
man?
think so. Let me check Tumblr. If we did, it would be on Tumblr. So give me
Alright.
just you can.
Did you?
What was that, Benson? Oh, we lost Benson.
Oh.
Well, we're gonna be. I do have an announcement. We're gonna be at
Go ahead.
WonderCon. So
You
if
got a
every-
panel.
we got a panel. WonderCon's gonna be on Saturday night, and because Josh Anderson is gonna be going to a cat concert,
Oh, the lady.
the cat band. No, it's a band of
Okay,
cats.
Oh, okay. Isn't there a lady called Cat?
Cat Power.
Yeah,
But that's not what he's
but it's
doing.
not
He's
that.
going to a
Okay.
cat band.
Right.
Andrew Lindy is going to be moderating the panel.
You still won't ask me to do it.
No, we will not.
I'm not even third choice.
No, you're not.
Why
You're third
not?
choice behind Benson.
Behind Benson? Why not me?
Because
I moderate you yahoos all day long on this show.
I don't trust you
Together.
to.
Trust me to do what? I'm one of
I
your
feel
best
like
friends.
the panel would go off into some place that we don't want to go to.
Like, what are you talking about?
I don't know. You'd start asking me about like things that have nothing to do with.
Start spicing up the panel?
Yes.
Oh my god, well,
Oh, come
it's
on.
good to know I'm... What?
You don't
When
think
have
you-
I ever embarrassed you in public?
You just bring up stuff.
And entertain the people that pay their hard-earned money to see
Well,
your
this is what
panel?
we're talking about. You have different ideas of what is entertaining.
You're asking the guy that talk. I would pick Benson ahead of Andrew.
Thank you, Derek.
This also became a point of contention because Benson got upset.
They didn't even think about me for
Yeah,
a
I
second.
agree
They
with-
just
I
went
agree
right
with-
to Andrew.
Hey, I thought about it long and hard because we almost had to replace Josh at another convention, so we already had this discussion. And I trust Benson. I just think Andrew is more serious.
Milk Toast. He's the
Yes.
Carson Daly of the Benview Network.
Maybe. I don't
Well,
know.
now you're insulting a friend of mine, Derek, and even though I don't respect the choice they made, you think you're going a little far.
But you listened to that interview with Dan Harmon. He barely said a word.
Stop trying to make this a bone of contention between me and him.
Well, that's the thing. We don't need him to take control of the panel. Like we just
That's
need him
what
to
a
keep us.
moderator does.
Need him to keep things in line, not take control. And you would take control.
Well, it's good to know what my friends think of me.
Hey, I'm still giving you free badges. I mean, come on, dude.
I know that's what keeps me in line. You still got your leash.
Oh, please. Wait, you want to moderate the panel, Derek? Like, do you really want to moderate it? Because I mean,
Well, you
probably
don't
won't
want me.
happen. Hey, I mean, it's not just my vote here. So
And I got Phil all up on me like he's my boss at a police station. I don't like your methods. I don't like you.
no, Phil likes you. I thought you
I get
guys
results, don't I?
you guys
But
cleared the tension.
Phil's the kind of guy, the chief of police, that yells at me for all the collateral damage and all the property damage.
Because
leave my
somebody
way.
has to.
But I get the job done. I got the C4, didn't I?
Yeah, but somebody has
Got it
to.
out of the hands of the bad guy.
You need that person.
And you're the
Need the-
Inspector Lee.
What?
You're the face. You're the public face of the duo.
Yes, Derek is Chris Tucker. You're Jackie Chan, and
You're a
Phil's
little by the book. I'm a little wild card.
Exactly, and because of the wild card thing, that's why we're leaning towards Lindy.
And that's also, I guess, if you notice in that trilogy, Inspector Lee doesn't even really trust Chris Tucker. He kind of looks at him as a buffoon in the other two Rush Hours. And it's like, really, after all you've been through?
And I like the first one, and the other two. I didn't watch the third one. The second one was horrible.
Third one's real bad.
Anyway, that's me and Phil's relationship.
Well, if anybody's going to be at WonderCon, Saturday night of WonderCon, we're going to be doing our panel.
I'll be in the
So-
audience, I guess, supporting my friends.
Well, also, I can't wait to hear about your Kill Bill Whole Bloody Affair experience.
Right.
And we just did Long Beach Comic Expo. We had a good time while Derek was off at Harry Potter Land. Benson was there, Lindy was there, a whole Benview crew was there.
Is that where you told them that you wanted Andrew to be? How did this go down? I want the
So
30 for 30 on
after
how
the
this
panel,
went
we
down.
were all talking, and we were all
Uh-huh.
hanging out in the hallway. We ended up getting kicked out of the hallway because we were too loud. But we were all talking, and Josh was like, "I'm going to this Cat concert." So we were like, "All right, well, we already were." Lindy was already going to be his backup the last time he almost had to cancel. So then, since Lindy was there, we don't always see these guys, so we're just like, "Lindy, you should do this." And he was like, "Okay." And then Benson was like,
That happened. Yeah, they asked you right in front of Benson. There's no
Everybody was
candor. There's
around.
no taking him into a room alone.
What is
Right in
this?
front
We're
of
not the freaking.
This is Pepper. Obviously, there
Hey, then we went to
hurt feelings
Chili's
left in the
and
wake
it
of
was
these
fun.
decisions.
And Phil and Benson argued about James Bond for like an hour. It was fun. Fun times. We should have
That was a
recorded
good time,
that.
Chili's.
That's why we need a portable recorder.
Well, I feel for you, Benson. As a guy that will never get out. I'm like it'll have to be Battlestar Galactica for me to head that goddamn panel.
Well,
But I feel
here's
for
what
you.
you should do,
I
Derek.
would choose you, Benson. If me
Thank you, Derek.
and Brendo had a panel, you would definitely be the third one on there.
Keep
You'd be on
putting
there. I
in
wouldn't want you moderating.
for our Benview Network panel. I've put in for every single convention, have yet to get approved. Maybe we need to do panels for the individual podcasts. I'm trying to strategize.
Or you can just
I'm trying to make it
rotate
happen
and
for
put
all
me
of
up.
us, man.
put me up. Or you could just rotate and put me on the panel.
The panel about something that you know nothing
I bet
about,
I can get.
don't
I bet
care
I can get
about,
Brendo.
and
I bet I could. I bet I could sweet talk Brendo in. It's Phil. It's Phil that I have to get.
you would have to convince Phil. And if you want to try to do that,
I'd have to,
Well-
but like Phil's kind of two-faced, and then he's all sweet to me in the public face, but in private, behind closed doors.
I know for a fact that he
run
privately smoothed things out with you about this last blow up.
Well, now I'm hearing more things.
There's no what
Phil has a
more
lot of
things.
power. He's
What do
like
What are you? You're
the man-
taking this as a Phil slight that Lindy. Come on, man, you're reading way too much into this.
he's like the Mandarin. He's pulling the strings in the background.
Phil is the
It's
man.
very smooth. He's very smooth.
Man.
He makes you the public face of things so that he doesn't get yelled at. But I know what goes on. We can get him, Benson. You and I together.
Get Phil?
Yeah.
Benson likes Phil. Benson doesn't have this Phil beef that you have.
Too much influence. I know.
I only know you guys because of Phil. I knew Phil first.
Yeah, I'm not gonna rally.
Phil is the
Benson
Mandarin.
Phil.
Phil's the godfather at the top of it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to get Benson unless I had something really, really beefy and meaty behind it all. And he's got Andrew in his back pocket. Obviously, he's wetting Andrew's beak. Over
Now he's
there.
got his own. He's got his own. Him and Janelle have a podcast now on the Benview Network.
Who can I rally in our
I was
group
just plugging.
against Phil?
I don't know. David King likes Phil. I'm trying to think of other people.
Huh.
Everybody likes Phil because Phil's a good guy.
Maybe I should get if I can rally the fans against Phil.
Don't do that.
I mean,
That's horrible.
Josh against me because Josh is always frustrated by Phil's beliefs.
Okay.
Yeah, if anybody, it's gonna be Josh.
Again, Josh is the renegade. He's the Snake Eyes. He's like a mercenary.
'Cause, as soon as our
You guys
panel was
not
over and we were talking, Josh just started railing into Phil about things that Phil said about because we've been talking about American Crime Story on Radio Brendo Man because I've been watching it, and Phil said some pretty ridiculous things about OJ. And
Like what?
well, he said that the worst part about the whole thing was, and this is quoting from Phil, because I said there's no more Naked Gun movies, and Phil said that's the worst part of the whole thing. So Josh tore into him.
Like they wouldn't be able to make one without him?
Yeah. According to Phil,
Yeah.
OJ is
Josh is
integral.
too much of a wild card, but I don't know. Maybe I could consolidate enough power.
You have to like cats and video games and stuff.
I gotta think about this.
Strategize.
Because you're like the Vader at this point. You're in with Phil. You say, "Oh, Phil saved me." Oh. And
What,
Phil's
so
like,
Phil's the Palpatine?
yeah.
So you're like Luke and you're trying to get me to turn against him?
Lindy is like that Jabba robot that was checking in all the robots. He's like, "Soon you'll learn some respect."
Who does that make me, Derek?
Well, you are the. Huh.
And this
You're like
is
the
he
Boba Fett.
Lando?
You're like the
Like what?
Boba Fett. You work with them, but you have your own self-interest to think about. They just
I'll
happen to
take that.
co-align with the Empire at the moment.
Again, Derek is the hero of the story, of course.
That's all perspective. It's all saving you. It's really all about you.
I am
Yeah,
perfectly happy where the position that I am in.
that's what I'm sure Vader would have said that in Empire.
No, man, if you read the comics, Vader was already trying to. He was doing stuff behind the Emperor's back. I'm not
But
doing anything.
you have your beefs with Phil. I hear them. You're not completely on the Phil side.
Well, of course, everybody's got
You get into
issues.
arguments.
We get in arguments all the time.
I don't think it's enough to really sway you completely. That's why I need to cut off Phil's power before I get at him. Anyway, to be continued. I think that's enough for this week.
All right. Well, I just want to
No
say
mail.
that. No, I think this. Len, did we talk about? There was.
Go
I
ahead.
don't. Let me see here. Sorry, I closed it. Crap. There was something from Apodaca. I think we already did it. I'm not 100% sure because it doesn't have a date on it. But he says, "Hey, Brian Apodaca, just wanted to follow up on that last message regarding Benson and the food minute suggestion. Not a joke or insult of Benson by any means. I enjoy hearing tales of his ongoing war with Carl's Jr. and his remembrances of Arby's Jamocha shakes. When did you
Yeah.
talk about Jamocha shakes?
Ugh.
It was on a past popsicle. The Jamocha shake is a treasured memory from my youth, but you go in there now, it's weak, it's bland, it's a bad shake.
That's because they're using all the shakes went like natural, and I think we were now living in a world where it's all this natural stuff, and that can be gross.
Yeah, Jamocha shake, used to love it, can no longer endorse it. Also, we were talking about the Jamocha shake on Twitter, and he made some tweet. I forgot to follow up and ask him, and it seemed to suggest that I was a big Long John Silver's fan. I don't know where that came from. I've never been inside a Long John.
Long John Silver's is pretty great. I think
I,
you would
I,
enjoy it.
I don't like seafood. How is that going to factor into it?
Well, then you probably wouldn't like it. Well,
Maybe you like Hush Puppies.
Hush puppies are good.
I do like hush puppies.
I recently tried to. Should I go out and find an A&W? Because all the ones in Southern California have like 2-star ratings on Yelp.
They're all shady, but there's a couple good ones left where you can still get the like on tap root beer and the root beer floats. I wouldn't really recommend their food
But
so much.
that was the first bacon cheeseburger I ever had, and I want it.
You want that experience?
There was this A&W in Buena Park that was like shady as hell, and it finally closed.
I say that because the one that closed near me was a Long John Silver's slash A&W.
I only ever think of The Shining when I think about the A&Ws, because that's where he was when he peed his pants when he got The Shining back in the day.
But he got The Shining in the A&W.
I think he had it before that, but that was when he got the intense one that made him pee his pants.
Okay.
That story's only in the book, right? That wasn't in the movie.
Yeah,
That's
wasn't
like
in the
you
movie.
with the Carl's Jr. Maybe you got the Shining then.
I went to Steak and Shake. We have one out here. They're really good.
Yeah.
Well, it's off the 15, so it's not out here. It's like 40 minutes away, but Phil's brother lives near there. So when Phil was on vacation and had nobody to hung out with Phil's brother. And Steak and Shake. It's awesome. It's cheap, and they have really good milkshakes. Like cookie butter, so good.
Fan of peanut butter in general.
Anyway,
And
you guys should have a fast food podcast, you two, because you guys, I hardly ever get fast food. That's just my taste.
Steak and
But you
Shake
guys-
is sit down.
But you guys seem to really have.
Well, there's a really good fast food podcast called Doughboys. I don't know that we could cover anything.
Well, it wouldn't be about. I mean, every podcast isn't about the subject; it's about the people talking about it.
Sure.
it's you guys that people would want to hear.
I think before we did that, we need to bring back our wrestling show. It's been exactly a year since our last
Maybe.
episode.
What if it was a combination? Like you can have a combination AW
Oh my God.
Long John Silver, combination and fast food.
Call it headlocks and
You can call it-
hamburgers.
You call it the Unhealthy Living Podcast.
So we're gonna
Check
be
out
back in
all
2
your-
weeks. Are we back on the
We'll be-
2 week schedule?
We're gonna do it. Our schedule. Well, it was not none of them blaming Benson. He's just a busy guy. We're trying to
Well,
lock
you're
down
busy
Benson.
too. You're working. You're going to stuff, Mr. Screenings, Movie Pass. You both have Movie Pass now.
It's true.
We do. That's our common thread. But now we're gonna do it more regular. There was no infighting. It was just scheduling.
Yeah, people were convinced that like we all just like.
Although I haven't heard from Benson
mean,
in a really long time. It's good to
I
know.
did
that
call
Benson-
Derek a smug asshole on Facebook, and people
Yeah.
were like, "Oh no."
Yeah, despite Brendo's
You are a
attacks
smug
on
asshole.
me, despite Brendo's attacks on me, everything remains good in the hood.
Oh, it's totally good. I don't let
I
you
got a
being a
tough
smug
skin.
asshole come between our friendship. Smug it up and drink your butterbeer.
If I went at you, if I went on at you the way you go on at me, it would be very uneven. Just think about
What, are
that.
you threatening me now?
Just think about that the next time you
Hey,
try to harass
I'm
me.
telling
How would
it
you look?
hurts me
if
when
I
you
did
say
that?
things, and so that's
not
why I
saying-
call you a smug asshole.
I'm not saying them to you. You're taking it
But
personally.
you're saying things that include me, and
Well, how come
and-
everybody else could handle it?
because everybody else doesn't care the fact that you're a smug asshole.
Yeah, so follow
You're
the
my
lead.
friend. I want better things for you. I want you to be a better person. I want you to not
This is like
contribute to the general dickery on the internet. Like you're better than that shit. So
This is an
but
abuser's.
apparently you
abuser's.
don't think so. So you want to continue being a dick, and I'll call you out on being a dick. I'll
this is
call
an
anybody out on
abuser's,
being a dick.
Justification.
Stop
Well,
being a dick.
Practice on somebody else for a while.
Do whatever I want. Don't tell me what to do.
Don't tell me what to do. Fair,
Don't be
fair
a
enough?
dick.
Okay. Lost conversation. Anyway, more of this in 2 weeks, everybody.
All right.
Let's close it out.
Be sure to go to BenviewNetwork.com and PopsiclesPodcast.com. If you want to listen to all our episodes, we're back. Radio Brendo Man going strong, and working on stuff. We just released our record, which I think
You
can
should release
buy.
that song you wrote about the lady.
Oh no, that song's no.
Give a quick rundown what you told me.
Well, basically, what happened was
This was
there
a harrowing story. I read them like, God damn.
I have a lot of these. It's my whole fucking life, man. I got plenty more where that came from. No, in my senior year, there was a girl that I had been like. She called me her weekend boyfriend. It was fucked up. It was a fucked up relationship, where like, because we went away every weekend. We were working at this church, and like she had a normal like she had her weekday boyfriend, and then on the weekends she would like hang out with me and it was like it was she'd like pretend I was her boyfriend. I don't know. She'd tell me things she wouldn't tell her boyfriend. We'd like have dinner together, and she'd be like, we're on a date, and I was like, what the fuck are you doing right now? Stop fucking with me. And we'd fight a lot, like a couple, because of that, and that lasted for like a year. And then like things got weird because like her boyfriend and his friends like confronted me once.
Where was
And that's-
this?
It was in the dorm. They like surrounded me, and I was like, "Is this
And
happening?"
then what did they do? What did they say?
Well, they were just like, "You need to stay away from Heather." I'm like, "Well, we work together, and why don't you tell her to stop? She's seeing me like it's a two-way street." And then the guy just left because I was like, "What are you gonna do right now?" Like I basically.
Oh
was like,
wow! Oh, tough guy, Brenda.
well, I was pissed off because this
Guys
guy.
act like that in prison.
Because those guys, what are they going to do? They're going to shank you in the neck. These guys are all smaller than me. They were younger than me. They're a bunch of little shits.
Whoa.
They were
Okay.
little shits.
Anyway,
Anyways, so I feel like this should be a crypt Creecy.
this is our Valentine's Day
This is my
entry.
Valentine's Day love story. The next weekend when I'm like there with her and we're on our trip and we're driving and I was pissed off and I was like and so she was so first I like said like all right you got to choose cuz like I can't do this anymore. I don't give a fuck. I'm leaving. Like I'm going to China
So
and
you were saying that you were going to China because of her?
well, at the time, I hadn't told her that, but that was one of the reasons why I was. I mean, to be
Wow.
honest, I had to get out of there, and that was one of the only ways I could see about getting out of there.
Okay.
Like, otherwise, I was gonna end up staying in Missouri somewhere or something. I couldn't find. There was no logic. There was no feasible way for me to get back to California at the time, and so I chose the extreme option, and she at the time she hadn't said anything about that. Um, so I was like, you know what, I'm leaving, so I have nothing to lose here. And then that's where I kind of had like the whole like DTR thing. And then she said, well, I love you. You're everything I'm looking for in a person, except I'm just not really attracted to you. And that was it, man. Fucking just straight put it on Front Street. Sometimes, you think you want that from somebody, you don't want that. You don't Benson, this is where I don't let Derek pressure you into things.
How am I getting into the mix?
Because you've like pushed Benson into like making these bold moves, and sometimes bold moves will destroy you.
I know, but you gotta have some sort of
Yeah, but there's gotta be some kind of middle ground, man. Also,
Well, he
I don't
didn't
think.
do anything I asked him to do. I just told him to do it. I'm not like forcing him to
Well,
do
be
it.
careful. Tread lightly, Benson. This is what I'm telling you. So she said that, and I was just like destroyed. So I was even more pissed off because then she was still like, "But I like hanging out with you on the weekends." I'm like, "What the fuck? What the fuck?" And so then like at the time I was very into emo music, and it was like pretty big, like Dashboard Confessional, Saves the Day, like Taking Back Sunday was like now they're kind of I don't know what they're doing, but they were very emo at the time. So a song I was playing Dashboard Confessional, and I was like, and she had known that I was working with my friend Andy on like he was trying to get into that music wise, and I was helping him working with his music and stuff, and so she's like, oh yeah, you and Andy are really into this. I'm like, yeah, we're writing songs, and she's like, oh really? And I was like, yeah, we're writing songs about this. I'm like, we're gonna write a song like this about girls like you.
Oh my
And
god.
I thought that was gonna really piss her off, but instead she's like, "Oh, I'd like to hear that." And I was like, "Oh, really?" It was this whole like, it was like a challenge.
That's a common Brendo thing too. Where you're like, oh, I was writing about you. That's all there.
And I thought it was because I was just so done with the whole thing. Because this was like January, like I was graduating in May. No, it was December. Because then I gave her. So anyway, so I get back and I go into Andy's room. I'm like, Andy, we're writing a song like right now. Like we're gonna write about this girl. And he's like, okay, because he also was in a similar situation, but he ended up marrying that girl mine and went the other way. Um, it worked for him, did not work for me, and so I'm like, let's write a song about this, and so we did. Like I helped him write it. I mean, I didn't play guitar or anything, but I helped write the words and kind of worked out some of the, some of the chorus and stuff.
Uh-huh.
And so then Andy went home for the weekend and recorded it with his dad because his dad had a recording studio, and then he gave it to me, and I burnt it to a CD, printed out the lyrics, and gave them to her like right before Christmas break. I was like, "Here, we did it. This is about you."
Oh
And
my god.
and Andy was in a band, and like they played that song, and if she was there, they would be like, "This goes out to so and so." Like they would like to her face, so she knew it. And she didn't talk to me for 3 months, and I assumed it was about.
What did you want her to do?
I don't know. At the time, like again, like I lived in this world where I was very conflicted about my own sexuality, and I had these ideas about what you're supposed to do, and I thought, and again, like I'd watched way too many fucking movies, and again, like I didn't know, and like I just wanted a girlfriend because like that's what you do, and I was lonely and sad, and
You
like and I
didn't get
thought
any Phil spillover?
this was in Missouri. Phil's gone. Like that was not happening. If I had stayed, my life would have been very different if I had continued in the because I was starting to make things happen with the Phil spillover, but then I left. And
So what did she say 3 months later?
well, 3 months later, then so I almost died. I was in the hospital.
But
I
for
had a
what?
I had a bowel obstruction from stress.
Oh my god. This got you so upset you couldn't shit.
Yes, I almost killed myself. Also, I was working like 3 jobs. I was taking 22 credits at school. I was running myself ragged. I was trying to raise money to go to China. I was stressed out about China. I was stressed out about life.
Are you
Um,
wary about that now, or you don't get all too mixed up where your
oh yeah.
bowels are getting obstructed? Okay.
When you almost die and have to do all this stuff, and you come within 12 hours of having to get a colonoscopy at 23 years old,
Okay,
that's where they
so
stick a knife up your ass, Derek.
within the month, you were getting
So
all. Hold on. Within the month, the 3 months, you were getting all worked up and you didn't shit for 3 months?
I didn't shit for like 2 weeks.
And all that was just getting impacted and stored in your
Yes,
gullet, in your gully there.
and I almost died.
What happened? Didn't you notice? We've talked about this before. You were so stressed out you didn't even notice you weren't shitting.
I didn't notice I wasn't shitting. It wasn't until I thought my stomach was going to explode, and they thought it was my gallbladder. They almost did gallbladder surgery until like my mom intervened and was like, I don't think it's his gallbladder, and she got a second opinion. And then the doctor's like, when was the last time he had a bowel movement? I was like, I have no idea.
You should write a song about that. Baby, I'm so mad at you. I can't take a shit.
Again, it wasn't just that. It was again the fact that I was working like 3 jobs. I was taking 22 credits of classes.
So even if you wanted to shit, you couldn't at that point.
No,
So
because then after that, I got home from the hospital then, and I tried, and then they were like, "Well, if you don't, we're gonna have to like." First, they gave me all this stuff to like clean me out, and that took like a week where it finally worked. Because
so
if it
what
hadn't worked,
happens? How long can you go without taking a shit until you die?
um, right up to where I was at,
Like a month?
something like that.
So they gave you stool softeners, or they scoop it
It's
out?
like no, it was like this. Well, they tried to do a scoop thing, and that was not happening.
But they
Um,
tried it.
Yeah.
Oh
And
my
so then they
god.
make you, it's like this bottle of like, so you mix it with water and you have to drink the entire bottle. It tastes like shit because it's like pure electrolytes and this other stuff. And then I just like waited, and then after that it was like liquid shit for like a week.
So if you got a colonoscopy, they take a knife and do what?
Well, first they do like they come in and they scrape a little bit to do like a, they're doing stuff in there, and then
Is
if
it like
they,
petrified shit?
well no, like they scrape part of your like they actually take a, they like they're doing surgery on like your sphincter and stuff. Like to do a, that's like it's like a biopsy in your
Huh.
asshole. And
Right.
then from there they would have decided like, then from that they would have, so they would be able to see what they needed to do, and then I might have had like super crazy surgery like on my colon or something. I don't know.
So you do all that and then you talk to her.
Well, because then she feels horrible because I almost died, and I,
So word gets around that Brendo's about to
and
explode.
yeah. So then she comes and she tells me, because I was like, well, where have you been? And she's like, oh, my boyfriend doesn't let me talk to you. And I was like, what? And you listen to him? Like, that's fucked up. And then she's like, oh, I didn't tell you this part. So then she's like, well, I'll take you to all your doctor's appointments. But then after the first one, I'm waiting outside for her to take me, and she doesn't show up. And she's like, oh, my boyfriend won't let me. And I was like, what? Still? And so then I was really pissed off.
If you managed to get her off of taking you to doctor's appointments to fix your butt, that would have been like a Hail Mary.
Well,
That's what, like in Seinfeld, that's how the guy got back George's girlfriend.
yeah, well, I thought it was a whole like Florence Nightingale thing was gonna happen, but it didn't.
You can
And
romance her with your butt.
No, just like I couldn't drive anywhere. I was on all these drugs
Okay.
and like so but yeah, and meanwhile again I'm trying to graduate college. I'm trying to getting ready. So then like that was the last straw and I was like, you know what? I'm going to China and you can just screw off. Like I don't know.
Did
I
you shit before you went to China?
Well, yeah, I mean eventually I got better and then
And even
graduate.
after all that, you said on those long trips that you would take Imodium, so you didn't have
Yeah.
to shit on the plane. Even after all that shitting, the disaster, you still did that?
Yeah, it
That's
was touch and go.
crazy.
Well, you've never had to deal with a squatty potty, Derek. It was a fucking
I
nightmare.
know, but even after all that non-shitting, I would be afraid to take
I was
non-shit medicine.
well, so after I would take the Imodium and then when I got home, then I would take and the other like I'd take like something to make me shit
Oh my
and it would
god.
work.
No, I never heard
Temp-
about this part.
Cuz okay, like Derek is skipping to another story, but when I
I'm
taught
saying if I were you, I wouldn't be playing with shit after
you've
my
never
not
dealt with a
shitting.
squatty potty. It was a fucking
I'm
nightmare.
just saying
You're
it
talking
would.
about
It would.
the Chinese toilets where it's a
That are
hole in the
holes
ground.
in the ground and you have no rails or anything and you're supposed to squat over them and the first time I tried to do it I fell in and then all my and then I
'Cause
like and there was no toilet paper and I had to ask my students for toilet paper which is the most embarrassing thing in the fucking world. It
I
was a
could.
fucking
I
night.
could think of a few more embarrassing things than
Well,
that.
they thought it was the most funny thing they'd ever experienced in their entire life.
So everybody in China is walking around with their own toilet paper. Is what
Yes,
you're
it's like
saying.
tissue packets. Yes.
Okay.
There is a product called a squatty potty. I want to say that is not what Brendo is talking about. I
No,
endorse the squatty
that's not the
potty.
same thing.
It's a good way to shit.
Oh well, that's that stool
You
thing
have
that you
that?
put on your
Yeah,
bathroom.
Let's
yeah. My
save your
roommate.
shitting habits. Let's save your shitting habits for another episode.
Well, to
Brenda's kind
finish
of
this fucking
dominated the
song
shitting.
story,
Right.
so it's like the week of graduation, and she like comes to me like in tears. She's sorry, and she had broken up with her boyfriend, and she wanted me to stay. Blah 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 blah. And then she's like, and I'm like, all right, well, let's like give this a try. And she's like, all right, let's go on a real date. And then she fucking stood me up.
Where were you gonna go?
I don't even remember.
You're outside of the Red Lobster,
Well, I was waiting for her at school because we were
and then
gonna drive.
you never talked to her again.
She came to my graduation party and and said she was sorry, and then that was it. And then Angie played the song and said this is for her, and then she left.
Oh my god.
It was like a fucking. Well, I told him to. I'm like play the song. I'm like play the fucking song.
Oh my god.
Because we had their band, we had like a blowout graduation party. It was awesome. Like people left their own graduation parties because everybody's other graduation parties were like on campus with their parents, and we actually like rented out like a space, and we had a band and everything, an actual real party. So like the whole school came. It was awesome. And so she showed up. I don't think she realized it was my party.
So it had a happy ending, I guess.
It had a happy ending in the fact that I never saw her again after that, except once when I worked at Disneyland, I got a phone call from her, and I think she was drunk,
What did
and
she say?
she just was like, "How?" She was like, "It was like nothing happened." I was like, "What the fuck?" Like, and then I sent her a MySpace message where I'm like, "Please don't ever call me again," and then she got pissed off, and that was the last time. Oh, she tried to friend me. She's tried to friend me on Facebook like 3 times.
You're like
Um,
Tina Turner in that story.
I can't deal with that shit, man. That's bullshit.
Can
Also,
we
the,
end?
like,
Can we end this episode with you singing "What's Love Got to Do with It" at the end?
I don't know that song.
Well, look at the lyrics recorded and have that be the end of this episode, please.
No,
Like a
no,
karaoke version, please.
not doing that.
You know my ideas are good. You just trust me on that one. They're so good.
I'm not doing that.
You have nothing else to do.
Just what's love got to do with it?
Well, on your own and put a good version of it.
Second-hand emotion.
Anyway, that was a good way to end.
There you go. You can have that for free.
I
The
want
girl's
whole
name is
thing.
Heather, by the way.
All right, we're naming
There
her.
it is. Dropping the
I love
name.
Brendo when Brendo gets angry and he doesn't give a shit and he starts getting aggressive Brendo. I like that when it's not towards me.
Whatever. It never would have worked out. I mean, she's like super religious, and I don't know if she would handle the fact that I'm like
A wackadoo.
I'm like liquid sexuality
What
and a
is that?
total like
You're-
I'm like 90% gay.
Uh-huh. All right.
Like, and I was coming to terms with that, and like maybe that's part of it. Maybe that helped me. I
You
don't
can
know.
give this episode to your new therapist. This is a really good primer on what they're gonna
I don't.
have to deal with.
Yeah, he
Is this
called
the
and
kind
like he was asking me questions
Is this
because
the
like
kind of thing you talk about in therapy?
stuff like mostly not really. I mean, I talked about
Or you talk about
relationship
the
stuff.
the sad things,
Yeah, and
family
like
things?
parent shit
Is it
and
all? You can save all the entertaining stories for us.
no, I mean I'm very candid. No, I talk about real stuff.
You are anything. If anything can be said about Brendo is
So,
that he's
but
candid.
the funny thing about the therapy thing was, so I talked to like a general person, and they asked me like a couple general questions. I don't think they were expecting me to like answer so long-winded and like, because I hadn't talked to anybody about this stuff in a long time. So I just like opened up. So then I got another call from the actual therapist, and they're like, "Is this real? Like, are you like, so, like, I feel like I should see you like right now." No, if I and I was like, well, if you can do that, they're like, well, I can't do that. And I was like, she just wanted to make sure that I wasn't in like mortal peril. And I was like, no, I'm okay. I'm hanging in because like I guess my
Well,
answer is
good.
kind of, I think my answer is scary.
Oh my God. Well, we know you're not in mortal peril
I don't think I'm in
now.
mortal peril. This. I mean, it's hard sometimes, man. That's all it is. It's so you have your ups and your downs. Sometimes I lay awake at night and I'm fucking sad, and I feel like shit. I mean, I'm not doing much, but I try to keep busy, try to stay out there, keep making stuff.
Well,
And
get busy with that. What's love got to do with it cover?
I'm getting busy with other things. I'm planning my WrestleMania trip. I'm excited. Get something to look forward to. Excited about doing WonderCon. Long Beach was great. Seeing Benson and everybody kind of was in. It's like, hey, we got this whole crew of people making cool shit. That's fun. That's exciting. We're doing stuff.
Well, you can listen to the further adventures of Brendo and the whole gang
All that
on
was from Go to Benview
on the
Network.
Benview Network. The whole universe of stories, intertwining dramas. I'm trying. I'm trying. I'm like the watcher of the Benview Network. I'm trying to make it like an interconnected universe here.
It is. I mean, it's great. I love it. I love you guys. You guys are great. And everybody who said, like, what's going on with Popsicles, like, here you go. This is for you.
Here's what's going on. So go ahead with the plugs.
And I'm at BrendoMan on Twitter. We are at PopsiclesCast on Twitter. You can contact us, send us mail, popsiclespodcast@gmail.com, or just go to PopsiclesCast, click that Ask a Question button, or hit one of us up on Twitter. Yeah. So what about you, Benson?
Go to BenviewNetwork.com, check out all the great shows on there. I'm on some of them, like Benview on Spielberg, where me and Justin talk about Steven Spielberg, Benson's Boombox, which is
Are you done with that yet?
Benview on Spielberg.
Yeah.
We're Always is our next film. We just did Indiana Jones: The Last Crusade.
Oh, you might appreciate this, Benson. Derek and I watched The Color Purple for the first time.
Oh yeah, what'd you think?
I liked it.
You can hear my opinions on BenviewNetwork.com.
A lot of people didn't like it, and okay, that's fine.
Oh, he didn't like it.
I didn't care.
That's racist, right? If you don't like the color purple, right? I mean, think about it.
For me, it helped me understand like why Whoopi Goldberg is a thing. Because
All right.
there you go.
You can also keep an eye on BenviewNetwork.com for a few new shows coming soon, including one by myself and Andrew Lindy to replace
Very excited.
Shannon Leonard, which is
Very
I
excited
think
for
you
you.
guys should do a last episode of Community where you review that episode of Dr. Ken that Joel McHale and Danny Pudi were on.
You keep saying that.
It's not gonna happen.
It's weird that they did the ad with the Community theme song, like, look who's coming from the
Because
community.
they really need that show to not.
Yeah, but like Community was a show that was canceled twice. Like why are they latching
But
on
this
to a
is
show?
like, that's like the aftermath. The
Yeah,
legacy.
No, I agree that ad is super weird, but I don't think we'll be covering that on Shut Up Leonard anytime soon.
Have you guys watched
Uh,
Dr. Ken at all? Like, I don't even know. Is it
I
good?
watched
Yeah.
the first episode. It's really really bad.
Is it like Craig Robinson show bad?
I've never seen Craig Robinson's show.
That was really bad.
You could review the pilots to all of the, all the cast members' new things.
Yeah,
You can review
I mean,
Love.
Love
but
is
we're not.
great.
You
I
can
really want to watch Love. I
review.
haven't watched it yet.
You can review How to Be Single.
Is Alison Brie in
Alison
that?
Brie. Danny Pudi's got a new show coming next fall.
Is that still the one where he's it's like spooky, right?
I don't know.
It's like he's not a cop, but he's like almost a cop, and there's some paranormal aspect. Am I remembering that correctly?
That sounds great. I'm in.
I'm in on that.
Actually am excited for his show if it's the one I'm remembering and thinking of.
Maybe we should be paranormal investigators, Benson.
Believe me, I have thought of that as well. Uh, anyway, go to babynetwork.com. Check out all the great shows on there.
What's the new idea?
We would be like the new TAPS, like the guys from Ghost Hunters, but what would our acronym be? BAPS?
That's already Black American Princesses.
I could see you and Benson bringing back BAPS. Benson would be the Halle Berry, and Brenda would be the other Moesha lady.
The new show Andrew and I are going to do, it's going to be exploring TV crossovers. We're gonna go through and we're gonna look at every single connection in the Tommy Westphall universe of shows and decide whether or
Okay.
not we think those constitute a true crossover. It's very
Has a
exciting.
lot
Check out.
of. So you're going to be the final word on that.
Yes, we've elected ourselves as the final word on that.
All right.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. It'll be out sometime in the future. And as always, you can follow me on Twitter at Dr. Matt.
Does it count if Munch is on X-Files and then the X-Files did an X-Men comic?
We're going to do a whole Munch special. I can assure you that at least. So those are the kind of questions we'll be answering on the show.
Oh, the new
Alright.
X-Files was like, we didn't talk about that. The last 2 episodes were awful.
Yeah, that's correct. I agree.
The Kumail episode was amazing.
So I'm at Derek Armijo, and you can listen to the 4 episodes of Picture Start. Maybe it'll come back when I come up with an idea.
Did you ever do one with
Brendo's on the
Benson?
final one. I should. We should at least.
Weren't you guys going to do Jaws?
You should put the nail in the coffin by doing one with Benson.
I had a dream last night that I alone found a Bruce the Shark that like nobody knew about, and it was in perfect working order, and then Steven Spielberg gave me a medal.
Nice.
It was in like a factory warehouse in Van Nuys.
Well, at least you're having a good time in your dreams. At least the demons get you there.
Yeah, finding Bruce the Sharks. What if there is another one that nobody knows about? What if somebody found that one that was at the bottom
Anyway,
of the
we'll
ocean?
see you.
You
We'll
don't
see
know.
you next week. We'll do one with Benson before we leave, because the idea was to have a different host every time.
Yeah.
But even though I know a lot of people, not a lot of people could do that.
A lot of work. That's
you guys could pop. It's not the work. It's just the
scheduling
Not a lot
and-
of people could.
all that.
Well, no, it's just not a lot of people could do a podcast.
That's also true. Everybody thinks they can.
Benson, you're good at it, Benson. Brendo's good at it.
That's the
I'm
nicest
good at
thing
it.
you've ever said, Derek.
To who?
To us.
That's the nicest thing.
Yeah. It's pretty nice.
And when I
Oh,
do
Derek says
try,
nice stuff every once in a while.
You say nice stuff.
when I do try to get is there any ladies in your life, Benson?
No, not at the moment.
But when the opportunity is there, it's because I believe Benson could do it. I'm not gonna champion any lost causes.
Thank you, Derek.
I'm
now
just
we-
saying, just
Never try.
no. I'm just saying you got to be reasonable with what you do. Bold gestures are bad.
All right, yeah. I never told Benson to write anybody a spiteful song.
It's not
I
spiteful.
love
You
that.
listen to it. I mean, it's kind of spiteful.
Yeah, every time you played it for her, it was like, "Here, this is about girls like you."
She
It's
got
kinda
off on
spiteful.
it. I know she got off on it.
All right, Horrified her. Anyway, continuing adventures next time. I'm Derek Armijo.
Brendan Creecy.
Matt Benson.
Telling you, keep up, keep the flip on. See you on the flip clip.
What the fuck was that?
All right, I stopped it.
Stopping recording now.
What if I ended and then played the song?
You should sing at least the first verse with like a karaoke background of the song, and it'd be funny.
No, I mean, what if I played the song?
No, it's about you. That I was like, oh,
I'm not
that's
talking
like
about
you.
what love's got to do with it. I'm saying, like, what if I played the song?
Oh,
No,
the song
no,
that you
it-
wrote for the girl.
Yeah.
Oh no, because you singing that the Let's Love What to Do with It is funny.
All right, I'll work on that. Maybe I'll get
Thank
Phil to
you.
help me.
Thank you.
Did you guys
I've
hear
never
Aaron
actually
Carter?
recorded music.
What's that?
Did you guys hear that Aaron Carter endorsed Trump?
Par for the
He's
course.
from Florida. He's a white dude from Florida, so that sounds about right. He's trying to get attention.
All right, I'll see you guys. Saturdays at 1.
Saturday next. So are we doing it every Saturday or every other?
No, every 2 weeks sound
Okay.
good generally.
Yeah, as long as I don't know when Lucha Underground's going to start back up, but I might have to schedule around that.
All right.
Pretty.
Now we didn't yell at you about your schedule, so we're all in the same boat here. We're all
We're all on the
busy
same
bees.
boat. It's all good. It's all good. Nobody's
All right.
no hard feelings.
Benson is Saturday at 1, okay? Generally.
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right. I'll see you guys next time.
All right. Oh, don't forget. Nobody forget to give me your files.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, I'll get it to you.
All right.
All right.
Later.
All right.